Today we're learning about functions. A function is like a machine where you put something in and you get something different out the other side. Let's say this function adds 1 to whatever you put in. So if you take 5 and you put it into the machine, you'll add 1 and you'll get out a 6. If you put a 3 into the machine, you'll add 1 and now you'll get a 4. If you put a 15 into the machine, you'll add 1 and you'll get a 16. The things that go into the function are called the inputs. Sometimes we call them the domain, or we represent them with the letter x. The things that come out of the function are called the output. We call these the range and represent them with the letter y. It's useful to use these letters because we can represent what the function's doing with a number sentence. We can say the output, or the y, will be equal to the input, the x, plus 1. From there we can show this function as a table. On one side we have our inputs, our x. We could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the other side we'll have our output. Now to find the output, just take your number sentence and wherever you see the x, replace it with whatever your x is. So when the x is 1, we can just plug in that 1 and calculate that y is equal to 1 plus 1, or 2. When the x is 2, we can plug that in and get that our y is equal to 2 plus 1, which is 3. When our x is 3, we can calculate that y is equal to 3 plus 1, or 4. When x is 4, y is equal to 4 plus 1, meaning 5. And when x is 5, y is equal to 5 plus 1, so it's 6. Let's practice with some of these tables together. Let's say you're given the function y is equal to 3 times x plus 5. Well, on a table, we'll have our inputs, or our x's on the left, and our outputs, or our y, on the right. Let's look at inputs of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. To find the output, all we need to do is replace the x with whatever our x value is. So when the x is 1, we'll plug a 1 into our number sentence. Y is equal to 3 times 1 plus 5. What does that equal? Well, 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 plus 5 is 8. Then we can check with an x of 2. When my x is 2, what does y equal? Well, our y will equal 3 times 2, which is 6, and 6 plus 5 is 11. How do I write my number sentence when the x is 3? Well, you plug that 3 in for the x, so now your y will be equal to 3 times 3, which is 9, and 9 plus 5 is 14. When my x is 4, what does my y equal? Well, the y will be equal to 3 times 4, which is 12, plus 5, or 17. And finally, when my x is 5, what does y equal? Well, y equals 3 times 5 is 15, plus 5 is 20. Now it's time for you to practice with these tables on your own. Here's the function y equals 2 times x minus 3. And on the table, our inputs are on the left, our outputs will be on the y. We're looking for inputs of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Complete the outputs for this table. When the x is 1, we just plug in the 1 to our number sentence. Then y is equal to 2 times 1, which is 2, minus 3 is negative 1. When x is 2, we have y equals 2 times 2, which is 4, minus 3, which is 1. When x is 3, y is equal to 2 times 3, or 6, minus 3, which is 3. When x is 4, our y is equal to 2 times 4, which is 8, minus 3, which is 5. And when x is 5, y is equal to 2 times 5, which is 10, minus 3, or 7. Now here's your last one for today. The function y equals negative 4x plus 5. On the table, our inputs will go on the left, our outputs on the right. We'll look at inputs of 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Complete this table. Well, all you need to do is take your inputs and put them into the function. When x is 2, you'll put a 2 into the function and solve that y is equal to negative 4 times 2, which is negative 8, plus 5, which is negative 3. When x is 4, y is equal to negative 4 times 4, which is negative 16, plus 5, which is negative 11. When x is 6, y is equal to negative 4 times 6, which is negative 24, plus 5 is negative 19. When x is 7, y is equal to negative 4 times 7, negative 28, plus 5, which is negative 23. And finally, when x is 8, our y will be equal to negative 4 times 8, which is negative 32, and negative 32 plus 5 is negative 27. So from today, remember, a function is like a machine that takes in inputs and gives out outputs. And to solve a function, you plug your x, your input, into the function and then solve.